Why does Rhode Island have a flight to Africa? The answer goes back more than 200 years, involves thousands of miles of ocean, and starts with a fleet of whaling ships. To find out why, I flew on board Rhode Island's only international flight. This is Rhode Island, America's smallest state. Its airport serves destinations all across the US. But when it comes to international flights, well, there's just one. Not to Europe, not to the Caribbean, not even to Canada. Instead, the only international flight from Rhode Island flies more than 3,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean to a small island nation off the coast of Africa. And the reason this flight exists goes back more than 200 years. Today I'm taking Rhode Island's only international flight to find out why. First of all, I had to get to the airport. There is a train to the airport, but it only runs a few times a day, so the only option for me was to get an Uber. Now, once a week, a plane makes a mammoth journey across the Atlantic Ocean from here in Providence, Rhode Island, to the tiny African nation of Cabo Verde. And today, well, I'm getting on board to take this flight and find out what it's all about. And our first question today is, where on earth do I check in? Because we've got check-in desks for American Airlines, JetBlue and United over there. We've got Delta, Southwest and Sun Country over this way. But where's the airline I'm flying on? Aha, found it. Cabo Verde Airlines check-in desk was tucked away at the back of the check-in hall, and the whole check-in process was slightly laid back. Hey, how are you? Checking in, please. Thank you.
Thank you. And then this is your boarding time.
Awesome, thank you very much. Gate 11. All right, thank you. Thanks. All right, all through TSA, nice and easy with the check-in and everything there as well. No TSA pre-check, they just don't offer it. I mean, they have like one flight a week to the US, so probably not worth it for them, but it was okay. It was actually a shorter line in the non-pre-check than it was in the regular one. And it's like being in a regional airport anywhere in the US. This is a bit strange that we're here and I'm about to take a flight across the Atlantic. So the good news is that I've got plenty of time now to get my flight. The bad news is that I've got plenty of time to make my flight. It's delayed by like an hour. So that's okay though. We've got like 4 hours here in a small airport with not a lot to do. It's time to reflect, isn't it? But one thing I'm really curious about is who is actually taking this flight. Because when I booked my seat, admittedly like a few days ago, the flight was completely full. There were like 2 seats available on the entire flight. But Cabo Verde isn't really a big tourist destination for Americans. So my question is, who is using this flight and why does it exist? Eventually though, I'd get my answer as Cabo Verde's Boeing 737 MAX 8 arrived in from Cabo Verde. Alrighty then, there is my ride over to Cabo Verde today. It's a Boeing 737 MAX 8 operated by Cabo Verde Airline, the national airlines of Cabo Verde. It's really their only international route they do outside of Europe. They fly to Lisbon in Portugal and do a few places around there, but they don't come across the Atlantic. This is their only one and it's once a week. Let's get down to the gate and see if we can get on board. So here's the thing, because Providence Airport only has one international flight a week, they don't have a full dedicated customs set up for it. So what they have to do is park the plane at a remote stand. Everybody gets off, walks down the stairs and goes into customs, and then they bring the plane over to the jetway where you can depart from, because they don't have a full sterile area set up like they do at a lot of airports.
I'm just going to Cairo for like about 18 days.
Oh nice, okay. On vacation?
But yeah, that's home, so...
It's home, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay.
This is the first time I'm flying from the airport.
Yeah.
I think right now, this is the first time they actually fly direct.
Yes. Yeah, it's not been direct for a while, yeah. So we were supposed to be pushing back from the gate around about now. So I think that the chances of us leaving in the next 30 seconds are pretty slim to none. And as the afternoon went on, without a single update from the airline, our departure time got further and further away. Now, 1 hour past scheduled departure. So we're going to be very late, I feel, if we're still going anywhere today. And with the departure screen simultaneously showing us on time, delayed and having left 3 minutes ago, things weren't exactly getting any clearer. So this is not a good sign. They've just pulled the jet bridge away from the plane and shut the door, and now there's no flights apparently departing from this gate. We may not be going anywhere today. So right now nobody seems to have a clue what's going on. There was some rumours about they found a bag or something on the plane, but they are just rumours at this stage. Nobody really knows. All they've said it's delayed operationally, which we could kind of guess by the fact that we've not gone yet. Everyone's sort of just disappeared, and we've just got a gate agent there who doesn't know much about what's going on. So yay. Maybe at some point tonight we'll get on board. I don't know. It's getting late now.
Are you on that flight?
Supposedly, yeah. Maybe you know more than I do.
I don't. I know it's delayed.
Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, we've got movement over there. The jet bridge has just gone back down to the plane again. We may be going somewhere. Who knows? And eventually, there was more good news.
You're about to finally drop in on carousel number 3. Send money bags to the lobby. Please make sure to match your claim receipt.
Thank you. Finally getting on board. We might get there today at this rate. I don't know. Okay, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Hi there. And so it was finally time to get on board my home for the next 6 hours. Cabo Verde Airlines don't have a business class. The plane just has 30 rows of 3-3 economy, but honestly for a 6-hour evening flight it was still relatively comfy. Alrighty then, we are finally on board. TACV, Cabo Verde Airlines. Had a 7-hour run tonight, 3,000 odd miles across the Atlantic to this tiny little island off the coast of Africa. The only international flight out of Rhode Island and the only flight from Cabo Verde to the US. It's all economy class. It's a 737 MAX 8. It's going to be a long ride, but you know what? The legroom isn't that bad. It's pretty comfortable actually. I'll see how I feel in 7 hours time. But for now, 4 hours late, we are about to take off, finally, for the island of Praia in Cabo Verde. So better late than never, Rhode Island's only international flight pushed back from the gate to get on our way for the long journey across the Atlantic. Once everyone had finished their phone calls, our route tonight then took us east out of Rhode Island before making a right turn on track for Cabo Verde. Flight time tonight was 6 hours and 41 minutes, cruising at 41,000 feet. 4 hours late. We're finally airborne out of Providence, Rhode Island. Now the Atlantic journey begins. Now before I show you Cabo Verde, a quick word from today's sponsor. Now this flight's a little unusual. I'm currently somewhere over the Atlantic Ocean, flying between Rhode Island and a small nation off the coast of Africa. Whenever I'm travelling somewhere a little less straightforward, there's one thing I absolutely need when I land: mobile data. Because the reality is, the moment I touch down, I'm trying to find out my hotel, work out how to get into town, and usually trying to figure out what on earth I'm doing next. And that's where Airalo comes in. You see, Airalo is an eSIM app that lets you buy mobile data for over 200 countries and regions around the world before you even leave home. You simply install the eSIM, land at your destination, and you're connected. No hunting around for SIM card shops, no queues, no trying to explain to somebody in an arrivals hall why your phone's just not working. And for trips like mine, where I'm often crossing multiple countries in a single journey, they also offer regional plans that cover several countries with one eSIM. Now, I've used Airalo all over the world and it genuinely makes travelling a lot easier. If you'd like to give it a try, download the Airalo app using the link down in the description and use code NoelPhillips3 to get $3 off your first eSIM. And for the next 48 hours, Airalo are also offering my viewers an exclusive 20% discount using that same code. You can even buy now and activate it later for future trips. Right. Let's get back on the plane and land in Cabo Verde. And as we coasted out over Cape Cod, there was still one question on my mind. How on earth does this flight even exist? Fortunately, I think I'd found my answer. So here's the thing. This this flight is almost full. There's like one seat free, and that's just the side of me. I've scored lucky on this one. But there is not a single tourist on this flight going to Cape Verde. There's not a single tourist going home after being in America. Instead, every single person on this flight is either from Cape Verde, visiting family here in the States, or from the States visiting family over in Cape Verde. And the reason why goes back over 200 years, believe it or not, thanks to whalers in the 1700s. Back in the 17 and 1800s, whaling was a huge industry in New England. Ships from places like Rhode Island and nearby Massachusetts would spend months, sometimes years, crossing the Atlantic in search of whales. Cape Verde, a small island nation off the coast of Africa, became an important stopping point on these voyages. The islands were perfectly positioned along the routes these ships followed, and many Cape Verdeans were recruited to work on board the vessels. Over time, thousands made the journey back across the Atlantic to New England. They settled in communities across Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts, where generations of Cape Verdean families would go on to build new lives. Today, Rhode Island's home to one of the largest Cape Verdean communities anywhere in the world outside of Cape Verde itself. And that's why, more than 200 years later, a Boeing 737 still leaves Providence every week bound for Praia. What might look like one of America's strangest international flights is actually the latest chapter in a connection that began long before air travel ever existed. Today it comes with a microwave meal and juice in a paper cup. So then dinner time. You don't get a choice. You just get what you're given and like it. But that's fine, it looks like chicken tonight. I feel like chicken tonight. Let's see what it's like. It's chicken and rice. It's okay, it's quite spicy actually. A little bit dry, but it's okay. Alrighty, we have just began our descent down into Cabo Verde. 4 hours late. The sun will be coming up soon, but we're nearly there. And as we began our descent into Cabo Verde, I had time to reflect. Back a few hundred years ago, it would have taken weeks to cross the Atlantic. Tonight, I've done it in just a few hours, arriving before bedtime. To many people, this may seem like a random route, but for the thousands of Cape Verdeans in New England, this is a non-stop flight straight back home. And as someone who travels a lot, let me tell you, that's worth everything. Although even getting back home after a long trip, at least I don't cheer when the plane lands. I'm far too British for that still. Gracias, thank you.
Thank you.
With the delay, we ended up landing at 5 AM local time, meaning the airport was deserted. Hello, British.
Did you pay the security fee online?
Yes. This one, yeah, okay, thank you. I managed to get through the airport in no time. Alrighty, well, welcome to Cabo Verde. I was supposed to have the hotel pick me up from here, but I don't think he's turned up, so we might have to go and get a regular taxi. I popped outside to the taxi rank where they had to rudely disturb a driver from his sleep to take me into town.
What do?
Thank you. To Boss Cellar Hotel?
That was one.
Thank you.
Sit. Important.
Thank you. I kind of felt bad waking him up from his nap, but at least it was only a 10-minute drive into town tonight. Amazing, thank you, gracias. Hi, how are you? Just this. Oh, thank you.
This is a key for the door and the light.
Okay, yeah, perfect, thank you.
So the room is in the second floor,
Yep.
221.
221.
You are tired, you need to take some rest, so...
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's all.
I appreciate it, thank you so much.
Welcome
All right,
to
thank
our
you.
hotel.
Gracias, thank you, thank you. Alrighty then, welcome to Cabo Verde. And it's only 5:30 now. We literally touched down 30 minutes ago and I'm in my hotel already. And I'm gonna get a bit of rest for a couple of hours at least. And then we'll see if we can have a little bit of a look around and see what's here. Well, good morning from Cabo Verde. It's really warm and sunny here. I managed to get about 3 hours sleep, slightly more than I got on that plane, but we're here anyway. What a place to wake up to. Cape Verde is a nation of 10 volcanic islands scattered across the Atlantic Ocean, about 350 miles off the coast of Africa. For centuries, these islands sat at the crossroads of Atlantic trade routes, with ships regularly stopping here on journeys between Europe, Africa and the Americas. Life here has always been shaped by the sea. Fishing remains important and the ocean's never too far away. So perhaps it's fitting that the connection between Cape Verde and Rhode Island also began on the water. Well, here we are then, Cabo Verde, tiny little island off the coast of Africa that's got its non-stop flight once a week from Rhode Island, of all places. This is a beautiful place. It's really nice. Just not the sort of place that you expect to see a flight full of 200 people coming and going every single week. But you know what? This is what history is. From 200 years ago, when they came on the whaling ships down here, taking people back to America, to today, when there's still people going backwards and forwards between these two little communities, between Cabo Verde and Rhode Island, of all places, miles out there across the ocean. Thanks so much for watching. As always, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.